Big Brother legends are out of the house and on the road. The stakes are high, the twists are wild, so let's chase down the drama of The Amazing Race Season 38 with Kinda Unhinged. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another The Amazing Race video, and we are on Season 38, Episode 8. So it is leg 8 of the race, and Kylan and Taylor and Jag and Jazz have express passes that have to be used by the end of this leg of the race. So obviously both teams are planning to use those express passes. So Eric and Tucker are currently in first place, and their first task is to complete a roadblock. And in this roadblock, they have to go on an Easter egg hunt. So there are these giant eggs, and they're in this big field, and they have to find a regular size egg somewhere in this field that matches these giant eggs. And then once they find that egg, they have to roll over their giant egg to a chicken who will check the eggs and make sure that they match. And once again, this is one of those things where it's like, this doesn't seem like it's that hard, but the teams had a pretty hard time finding these eggs. So Jag and Jazz decide that they're not even going to waste their time doing this roadblock. They're going to go ahead and use their express pass and head to the next clue. But not long after Jag and Jazz decided to use their express pass, Eric actually found the matching egg. So these two teams were in a foot race to the train, and Tucker's like, let's just go for it. Let's try to get on the train before they do, and we'll just ask for directions after we get on the train. And that's exactly what they did. And they actually beat Jag and Jazz to the train. So they got a little head start. In this leg of the race, like, all of the teams are starting to feel the pressure because, I mean, there's only 6 teams left, and 2 teams had express passes this leg. So, I mean, this leg was pretty intense for everybody. So back at the roadblock, Kylan and Taylor and Joseph and Adam arrive at the same time. So Kylan and Adam decide to try to work together and find these eggs. And then eventually the last 2 teams, Jack and Chelsea and Izzy and Paige, arrive at the egg hunt, and now these last 4 teams are all looking for eggs. So Eric and Tucker arrive at the detour, and they have a choice between hit the note or find the beat. So hit the note, they have to put together what's called a pan flute and then play a song. And then in find the beat, they have to do a traditional Romanian dance. So Eric and Tucker decide to do hit the note, and Jag and Jazz choose to do find the beat. So back at the egg hunt, the last 4 teams are still looking for their eggs, and Izzy is able to find her egg before the other 3 teams do. And her and Paige go from 6th place, which was last place, to 3rd place. And then eventually Kylan finds an egg, followed by Chelsea, which means that Joseph and Adam are the last team still looking for their eggs, and they are starting to feel the pressure, and Adam is feeling the despair because he is trying his hardest to find this egg and he can't find it. So soon after the other 3 teams are on the train, Adam is finally able to find his egg, and they feel like they're still in the race because they're not that far behind the other teams. So Kylan and Taylor decide that this is the perfect time for them to use their express pass, and they decide they're going to use it on the detour that is the closest so that they don't waste any unnecessary time. So Chelsea and Jack decide to pick find the beat, while Izzy and Paige decide to pick hit the note. Jag and Jazz are struggling to find the beat and they actually fail their first, second, and 3rd attempt. So they decide that maybe they need to try to learn the dance a little bit more before they attempt it again. And then over at the other detour, hit the note, Eric and Tucker are having the same problem of trying to get this song down. Meanwhile, Jack and Chelsea are struggling to even find the location of their detour, and they're starting to argue with each other, and all I could see was a repeat of Natalie and Stephanie, and I was like, you guys do not want to go down that path. Get it together. So back at the detours, Jag and Jazz are able to successfully complete their dance on the 4th attempt, while Eric and Tucker successfully complete their song on the 6th attempt. And they head to the next part of the race, which is route info, where they have to create 10 sausages called michi. And after they successfully make 10 sausages each, then they have to each eat one of the sausages that they have prepared. So back at the hit the note detour, Izzy is feeling really good because she's a professional flute player, and she's actually played this instrument before. So she gets the hang of it really quickly, obviously, and she's even able to help Paige to learn the song. So back at the route info, Eric and Tucker get their michi approved on their their third attempt, eat one each, and then they're able to head to the pit stop. And Jag and Jazz finish up at route info right after Eric and Tucker, and we find out that it's a 37-minute cab ride to the pit stop. So at this point, it's anyone's game. It's really a race between these two teams. And ultimately, Jag and Jazz were the first to arrive at the pit stop, and they were team number 1. And because they came in first, they won a trip to Bermuda, which made Eric and Tucker team number 2 to arrive at the pit stop. So Izzy and Paige successfully complete the Hit the Note detour, and they sounded so good playing their instrument. I was like, oh, this is really nice. So I was impressed. I could definitely tell that Izzy is a professional flute player because it sounded great. And back at the route info, when Kylan and Taylor go to get their Michi checked, Kylan's are perfect and Taylor had 3 that she needed to complete. So Kylan was trying to give her pointers for how she can make her sausages better, and Taylor is getting frustrated. And you know, I would get frustrated as well, because when I'm trying to do something and then somebody is just telling me, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that, like it can be very annoying. So so yeah, they had a little bit of a hiccup there where they were, you know, arguing a little bit because Taylor was a little bit frustrated because she's like, okay, we get it. Your sausages were perfect and now you're over here hassling me about mine. But nonetheless, she's able to finish up her 10 sausages. They eat one and then they head to the pit stop. So back at the detours, Chelsea and Jack have finally arrived at the Hit the Note detour. And then back over at the Find the Beat detour, Adam and Joseph are struggling with their dance. Adam's blood sugar is very low and he is struggling to get through it, but he doesn't want to stop because he doesn't want to waste the time, because he feels like at this point they could be in last place, which they weren't. They were in 5th place at that point, but of course he had no way of knowing because they were the only team at the Find the Beat detour. So he pushes through it and they successfully completed on their 2nd attempt. So at the other detour, Jack is really struggling to learn the song and he's starting to get in his head because he's feeling like they're the last team, and you know how that is when you feel like you're failing at something, then you start to do even worse. So that's what was going on with Jack. But ultimately he's able to pull it together and they successfully complete this challenge on their 5th attempt. And then at the pit stop, Kylan and Taylor are team number 3. So we're down to the last 3 teams, and Izzy and Paige successfully complete the route info on their 1st attempt, and they are able to head to the pit stop where they are team number 4. So Jack and Chelsea actually arrived at the route info a little bit before Joseph and Adam. So it's down to these 2 teams. So the pressure is on, and Joseph is telling Adam like, hey, let's just not worry about them and let's just try to get this done, and you know, maybe we can get to the pit stop before then. However, Jack and Chelsea do complete this task before Joseph and Adam, and they head to the pit stop. But Joseph and Adam complete it soon after them, and both of these teams are in the taxis at the same time. And you guys remember what happened with Eric and Tucker and Jag and Jazz. So once again, it's anyone's race. However, when they are in the taxi, Adam breaks down because he feels like he's holding Joseph back, and he feels like Joseph would have did better if he was racing with someone else. So Jack and Chelsea were team number 5 to reach the pit stop, which means that Joseph and Adam were the last team to reach the pit stop. However, this was a no elimination leg of the race, and I was so happy for them. I literally cheered when Phil said that it was a no elimination leg. So I'm glad to see that they will still be in the race. He said that they will be penalized in the next leg of the race for coming in last. But that was pretty much it for this episode. You guys let me know what y'all thought about it in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you want more of the Amazing Race content, then go ahead and subscribe. And if you like this video, please hit the like.